There's an old joke. How do you get to Carnegie Hall? The punchline is, practice, practice, practice. Today, the desire for many performers isn't to get to Carnegie Hall, but to be on American Idol. Of course, the way to get there remains the same. Practice, practice, practice. Stephanie Hanvey has been practicing since she began singing at age 9 and performing at 10. Once ridiculed and laughed at in school, she is now the envy of her peers and a role model for girls across the country. This is her story.
What's your name?
Stephanie Hanvey.
I'm not sure if you're familiar with this lady, but
Yes.
her name's Jennifer.
I know. I'm so honored to be here in front of you. You opened so many doors for Latinas.
Aw, thank you. Sweet.
You look like you're ready to audition for American Idol.
Yeah, I've been ready.
Yeah.
Okay, Stephanie, congratulations for being on American Idol.
Thank you.
That's really fantastic.
Thank you so much.
And I think a lot of people assume you just go out there one day and audition and there you are, but it's not that easy, is it?
No, it isn't. There's a process that you have to go through, and you know, you don't just go in front of the judges. You know, we go through this process, and you know, it's a lot of hard work. But once you get there, it really just, you know, that's what you're supposed to be doing. You know.
Right. So where was the audition that you did for this one?
I went out in Boston. It was at Gillette Stadium. With 10,000 people were there.
Yeah, that's a huge one.
Yes, it's really big. So.
Yeah. So what was it like to meet your idol, Jennifer Lopez?
Oh, it was amazing to be in front of my idol. You know, she's done so many things with her career and opened so many doors for Latinas, and you know, it was just amazing to be singing in front of her.
Why do you think she means so much to you and other young singers?
You know, she always, as a person, she worked hard for what she wanted, and that really gave me hope as a person to do that as well, to just work hard and to keep going. And so I feel that's the way that she can connect to singers like me. So.
Yeah, and you have been working hard. How old were you when you started singing?
I started singing at 9 years old, so I've been singing for the past 7 years now.
And at what point during that time did you realize this is what you wanted to do for your life and career?
Definitely after I sang at the talent shows, about like 10 years old. I did YouTube videos, and then Sergio George, a big producer in the Latin world, he called my mom and he said, I really want this, I want her, I saw on YouTube, I want her to be on my project called Be Kids. And he's worked with Jennifer Lopez. He's also was the former manager of Mark Anthony. And he's like, I really need her on my project. So I did the project with him, and after that I've gotten so many calls and people for me to go on shows and to record albums and everything. So that's really, at 11 years old, that's really when I knew that I wanted to do this professionally. So.
Talking about people who really have found you, let's talk about your latest single,
Yes.
On a Prayer. The people you're working on that are really star makers, basically.
Right.
Yeah. Tell us about them.
Actually, Siedah Garrett, she wrote Man in the Mirror. She wrote On a Prayer, and so did Barry Eastmond, who has 60 platinum albums, and he's worked with the top people in the industry, and Karina Pasian, who's a Grammy Award winner. They all wrote this song for me, and Barry produced it as well. And you know, this song means so much to me, and I feel like I can give a positive message to everyone that they can follow their dreams and they can just stay true to who they are.
Forgive me for all the pain I've caused, all the pain, yeah, yeah. Oh, too many times I've gone cold, too many times I've tried to water, but all my hopes and dreams could end up like a river. I just let go on a
Yeah, so how did you get hooked up with them? Did they find you? Did you find them? A
Oh,
combination?
Well, I've actually met them through Eric Nuri, and he's always been my mentor on my road, and Eric is the manager for Siedah as well.
Right.
So he told Siedah about me, he told Barry about me, and Karina, and they all got together and they wrote this song. And actually it was Karina's song at first, but then they're like, you know, we really want Stephanie to sing this song. So, you know, they told me to sing it, and I'm like, hey, I'll definitely sing it. And I heard the message behind it, and it was so powerful that I really needed to do it.
Yeah, I mean, that's got to really be a big boost to have them, because they, yeah, as you said, they've worked with so many people.
I feel like they're my angels and my supporters that are supporting me right now, and they've always been there for me. So.
And what kind of advice have they given you?
Oh, well, they always said to stay true to who I am, and just don't let anything change myself, because they love me so much, and they've always told me, just, you know, whatever happens, we're always going to be there for you, and they're always supporting me. So.
What about turning it around? You have a lot of young fans.
Yes, I do.
What kind of advice do you give them?
Well, I always have been a big supporter on following your dreams for my young supporters that support me, and I actually wrote this song called I'm That Girl, and it's about every girl knowing that they can follow their dreams, and they don't need anyone to tell them they can't do something, because they can. And I've done seminars for them every year. I started at 12 years old doing seminars and giving them a concert of I'm That Girl. And I told them about my story of I'm That Girl and how it all started. And, you know, I always try to portray that to these young girls today, that they can follow their dreams.
Yeah, that was a bit of a hit for you, right? I mean,
Yes,
yeah,
it was.
Yeah, tell us more about it.
So I wrote the song when I was 11 years old.
Right.
And after I did the Beat Kids album with Sergio George, I came back. I was very shy when I was younger.
Hard to believe that.
Yeah, that's what everyone's been saying. And you know, I was very shy when I was younger. I came back and I went in my room and you know, well, actually I came back, I went to school, and they would just bully me. They saw me in the paper. They couldn't understand how this shy girl could be singing to the world and have albums. The album went in Best Buy and Walmart and everything.
I look in the teacher's room, no one's there. Everyone's lines up and I'm kinda scared that everyone's staring at me. Then I see
They didn't really understand it. And so, you know, they would say that they burned the newspaper that they saw and that I was ugly and like all this stuff. And, you know, I didn't let it get to me. I wrote about that.
Right.
And someone told me, one of my mentors on Kara, he said, you know, Steph, just write about it. So I went in my room and I just wrote about it. And the song is everything that I went through. But I turned it around and made it a positive message that every girl is unique in their own way, and no matter what anyone tells you, that you can be who you are. And so I decided, hey, I don't want anyone to go through what I went through, because it was, you know, it was hard for me. And so, I'm sorry. And so I made it a positive thing for these girls. And I don't know why I'm getting this right now.
No, that's actually great, because you're speaking from the heart, which is really rare for people to do. But I think if you look at show business and in music, a lot of people have gone through the similar things, that no one really had faith in them. Everyone thought they were a loser or whatever, but they weren't. But they, you know, turned it around, and that's really a tough thing to do.
And I didn't want anyone to go through what I went through. So I made these seminars, I made these concerts for these Girl Scouts. And they all would come, and I would talk to them about what I went through and my story. And I told them, you know, no matter what happens, you can still follow your dreams. You don't have to listen to what people tell you, the bad things. You would always make it a positive thing instead of a negative thing. And I feel like that I've touched so many girls in that way to follow their dreams. And I want to continue to do that on my journey and share a positive message for these girls. So I want to be a role model for them.
Yeah, well, that's great. You know, in some ways, I think it's actually good that you had some struggles to go through. It just shows you, you know, because you are gaining success. It's not
Yeah.
just easy. You want to do something and you get it. You really have to work hard, and you
That's
found
right.
that out.
Yes, and that's one of my messages that I want to share to everyone is that, you know, if you work hard at something and if you keep going and you don't let any negativity get to you, you know, anything is possible, especially with God on your side.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about that. How important is God to you and faith to you?
You know, every single day I wake up and I do my prayers to my saints, and I also I read the Bible like a page a day, and you know I also pray to Him, and you know God, I always say, God, please just give me the right direction and just show me the right direction on my path and my journey, and through anything, just let it lead to the right way, and let me always share a positive message to people that anything is possible with you on your side.
Well, what about your parents? How influential were they in your religious upbringing and in your music?
Oh, well, they've always told me to keep God first, right? Because He's the driver to my life, and you know I've always went to church every Sunday, and they always were there for me, and I love them so much. And you know they've always been by my side, and they, you know, I wouldn't be here without them. I really wouldn't, because they're 110% behind me, and I love them so much.
Let's talk a little bit more like in school. You know,
Yeah.
you have this career that's starting to really take off,
Right.
and you're working at that. Is it difficult to still, you know, maintain your focus with your education?
You know, I always try to keep a balance between the two because education is very important to me. I feel like everyone should always have their education behind them because it's, you know, it's important. You know, you could always learn as a person, and that's what I've accepted, to balance the two, because, you know, it's very important.
Yeah, great. And when you went up to Boston to do this, did you meet any of the other contestants, the other singers? What was that like?
I did, actually. It was pretty cool because, you know, you get to see them through the rounds, and, you know, I mean, it's also heartfelt because you get to see the people that you became friends with that
Right.
they possibly didn't go through, or, you know, and then you're happy for the ones that did go through. So,
Right.
you know, it's a cool process to see what happens on the journey and everything.
To actually live it instead of just seeing it on TV.
Right, it's
Yeah.
like behind the scenes, like you're actually talking to these people and you're actually making friends, and
Yeah.
you know.
Did you get to talk to any of the judges, you know, afterwards, or just you on stage?
Well, when I tried out, I got to like talk to J-Lo about I'm That Girl and everything.
And she heard that?
Yeah, and she actually, if you watch the episode, she's wearing the bracelet at the end.
Wow,
I don't
fantastic.
have one today because I gave them all out at my concert yesterday. But you know, J-Lo was wearing the bracelet at the end, which is so cool. And you know, she told me to keep following my dreams, and she's with me on my journey. So.
Yeah. Well, I think it's funny because, you know, you always see someone like J-Lo and they're always they were big. You never
Right.
think, how did they get started? And they started just like you.
Right.
So who knows, another 3, 4, 5 years you could be just like her.
Yeah, hopefully I could follow in her footsteps. So we'll see.
Yeah. You casually mentioned your concert yesterday. Tell us about that.
Oh yes, that was at the Boys and Girls Club in Paterson, New Jersey, and you know I sang for them. They were so excited, and they're really good kids. Like I explained to them that no matter what happens on your journey, you can follow your dream. And you know I talked to each and every one of them and told them that. And I actually talked to this very special girl. Her name is Dynasty, and you know she was going through some hard times. And you know I talked to her for a good 10 minutes about like she wants to be a singer. And I told her, you know, actually it connects because I'm here. I told her, you know, the first place to start off is the church.
Right.
And if you really want to share your gift, and she sang to me and she said, I'm really shy in singing and I don't really know if I really want to do it or not. But I'm like, the first place to go is God, because He'll lead you in the right direction. You go to that church, and if you want to sing, you sing. And you ask to be in the choir, you ask to do those things, because He'll lead you in the right direction. And you know, she follows me now on Twitter, and like I talk to her, and I'm there for her no matter what. So that's, if I could touch at least one person every day with my gift, that means the world to me.
Very inspiring.
Thank you.
And you've done some things for churches here. You've
Yes.
had St. Athanasius.
Yes.
You did a couple of concerts.
to cry. You better not panic, I'll tell you why. Santa Claus is coming to town.
How does a Jersey girl end up singing in Brooklyn?
Well, I got in touch with Craig, that's part of the network here, and he, Craig is an angel by my side because, he's always been there for me. And we actually met last year, and, to actually have such a powerful person, he's connected to me through 1111 too as well, that we were just talking about this, which is
And
really
what is
cool.
1111?
1111, when I was younger, before I would sing on stage and everything, I would always see 1111, and I would always question, why am I seeing these numbers? And I told my mom, she's like, I don't know, and I Googled it, and it has something to do with angels. And so I was like, okay, angels, how does that connect? And my mom was talking to her stepmom one day, and her stepmom was talking to her about her brother.
Right.
That passed away, and my mom's like, oh, okay, and they were talking about his birthday, and his birthday, my mom connected it, and she's like, his birthday's 111.
Right.
And she told me, and she's like, Stephanie, my brother's birthday is 111. That's your angel on your side. And I realized it, and I'm like, wow, I have an angel on my side on this journey. And
Wow.
I always say that to people because I feel like they have a special angel on their journey as well that's looking out for them and guiding them. And it also connects with God as well. And it's very powerful for me to share that to people.
Yeah. Tell us about the charity that you do some work for and
Yes.
believe in, National Autism Speaks Foundation, correct?
I do, yes.
Yeah.
Well, my best friend, this is how it all started. My best friend's cousin has autism, and she asked me one day to perform at an Autism Speaks walk.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, absolutely. So after I went to the Autism Speaks walk, I was so engaged into Autism Speaks because I just wanted to learn more about it, and
Right.
I wanted to help more. So I researched it like crazy.
Right.
And every single year I go out there and I perform for them, and it's actually the foundation that her cousin is involved with. It's called Tommy's Troops,
Okay.
and they raised, I think this year they raised about, I'm not sure, but it was a lot of money that they raised for Autism Speaks,
Yeah.
and I'm really involved with that as well. And I also,
Fantastic, yeah. Go ahead.
thank you.
Yeah, that's great.
I'm also involved with Blossom Sisters Foundation. They're always supporting me, and these
What do
sisters.
they do? Tell us about
Well,
them.
these sisters, they couldn't dance when they were younger because they couldn't afford to.
Right.
So, just like I'm that girl, they didn't want another girl to not be able to do that. And so they opened up this foundation called Blossom Sisters Foundation for every girl in their neighborhood, and for underprivileged girls that don't have the money to afford these professional dance lessons,
Right.
to be able to dance. And so they opened up this foundation, and I'm so strong with this foundation as well. These girls, I perform for them every recital that they're in.
Yeah.
And they've opened up this foundation for them, and it became so big, and I'm so involved with these girls. And they came to the show yesterday as well. Some
Yeah.
of the dancers came as well. And
Did they join you at all?
no, they
Yeah,
didn't, but
yeah.
they were watching, and they're always supporting me, and I'm always supporting them. And these girls have a bright future ahead of them, so I'm always there for them, and I'm always giving seminars and talking to them. So I'm involved with that as well too.
That's great. What kind of things do you have coming up in the future?
Oh, what kind of things do I have coming up in the future? What kind of things do I want?
I mean,
Or-
do you have any more shows coming up?
Oh yeah, I have a lot of shows coming up. They'll be posted on my website and my Twitter and everything.
You want to
I'm-
tell us what the website is?
www.stephaniehanvey, Hanvey, 11-11.com. You can look me up on Twitter at Steph, STEPH, Hanvey 11, and also Instagram, Stephanie Marie Hanvey. And those are all the social media sites that you can catch everything on, and all my shows will be on there. And I'm also recording. I'm in the studio with Barry, and we're recording
Wow.
new songs now. So I really want to get signed and
Right.
you know, like have a record label on my side as well, and go on tour. Like those are the things that I'm looking forward to in the future.
Yeah. You also didn't you do sing some backup for some pretty
Yes,
famous people?
I
Tell
did.
us about that.
Oh my God! Last year I was last year in February I went to a Grammy event called MusicCares, and I got called up by a vocal arranger to sing backup for Sting,
Right.
Mavis Staples, and Zach Brown.
Wow.
And this charity, it was actually Foundation MusicCares. They're giving back to the victims of Sandy, the musicians
Right.
that were victimized by Sandy and Hurricane Sandy. And we raised money for them, and it was also in dedication to Bruce Springsteen because he's a Jersey boy. So
Right.
they called me up because I'm a Jersey girl as well,
Yeah.
and they had me sing backup for them. And you know, I saw so many people there that saw me too singing
Yeah.
backup. Johnny Depp and Elton John they were there as well. And oh my God, to be able to be in that environment with these people,
Right.
these legendary people, it was basically what I knew. Like, okay, this is real.
Yeah.
You know, this is really real. Like, I'm actually starting off right now, and they told me, Johnny Depp told me actually, he's like, you're gonna fly, he has a little accent, he's like, you're gonna fly so high, Stephanie, you're gonna fly past the stars. And I was like, thank you so much, Johnny, thank you. But I talked to him for a good like 30 minutes, and
Wow.
yeah, so you know, he's a big supporter of mine as well, which is pretty awesome. I sang to him, and you know, he loves me as well, and I love him. And you know, these people
You
are
both
just
like hats too?
what?
You
Yeah,
both
we
like
do.
hats?
He was wearing a hat too that
Yeah.
day, and you know,
Yeah.
being around these people in the industry and in the entertainment world, I feel like I'm home.
Yeah.
I feel like they've opened up the gates for me, and it's pretty cool.
That's fantastic. You have, as we said, a new song coming out.
Yes, I do.
Maybe you'd like to sing it for us here.
I'd love to. It's called On a Prayer, written by Siedah Garrett, Barry Eastmond, and Karina Pasian. And it really is an amazing song, and I hope everyone can hear the message of it and be inspired. It's on iTunes right now,
Right.
so you can buy it on iTunes, and it also connects with American Idol because every download is just like a vote, and I need people to help me out and tweet me as well at
Right.
StephHanvey11 and at American Idol, #Idol, to give me some support on the show. And thank you guys so much for supporting me so far. You know, this journey on American Idol is just incredible, and
Yeah.
it really is a dream come true.
All right, before we get to the song, for your next installation of the American Idol,
Yes.
do you have a song picked out yet? Or is that up to them? How does that work?
Actually, they just let you pick whatever song you want to sing. So
Have you picked one? Or is it a surprise?
you really want the scoop, right?
I do, yes. Yeah.
I can't say.
You can't say? All right, okay. But I'm going to ask.
It doesn't hurt to ask, right?
No. All right, let's get to the main event to have you sing.
All right.
All right, this is the first time ever for Portraits of Faith having a live singer, and we have a great one to start us off. Stephanie Hanvey
I'm making history.
is making history, singing her big hit, On a Prayer.
Yes, On a Prayer. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I finally made it back to me. It's taken way too long, I swear. I couldn't wait to spread my wings once I decided to clear the air. And I never felt like I belonged. All that I did Thank you.